All right, so welcome back. So I've been getting a lot of requests to do portfolio reviews and resume reviews from my TikTok account. If you guys aren't following me on TikTok, make sure you guys are following me on TikTok at Brother Codes. And I'm going to start reviewing some portfolios and some resumes that for people who are trying to get jobs into, you know, being a software engineer or being a front end engineer. I wanted to just start doing those reviews. So if you guys want me to review your work, make sure you leave a comment down below with the link to your website. And if you don't want to make your resume public, you can just shoot me an email with your resume and I will review it for you. So let's get into it. All right, so we have Moses' portfolio here. And what we're going to be doing is basically just give him some feedback on what he needs to improve on his portfolio. He's trying to apply for some front end engineering jobs or just some software engineering jobs, and he's not able to get any good solid traction or feedback or even some interviews. So we're going to help him out here. So first thing, let me just reload the application. And he has a nice smooth animation, which is really good. One thing I would like to point out, I am not a big fan of showing a picture of yourself because as humans, we are subconsciously going to judge who you are based upon how you look. And you want to take that away from anybody who's reviewing your portfolio by just removing the picture of yourself, right? Also, it's just a nit. I'm not really a big fan also of these background images, mainly the one that has coding in the background. I just feel like that's a little dated. Um, you, for this approach, you can actually just go without even adding a background and just keep your header and your subheader down here. And even just look at some other portfolios that you come across the net and kind of take some ideas from them and just go about it that way. So as we scroll down here, you have a nice animation that loads up your projects. Okay, and then you have a quick summary and very simple design, neutral colors, which is a big plus. But when it comes to the stuff that's going to actually help you get a job, it's going to be your projects. Now, you can tell that you are a beginner because, for one, you have a to do list app on your portfolio, you have a weather application, and a dictionary application. I can already tell just from my experience of one, learning how to code myself and also seeing a lot of portfolios. A weather application and a to do list and even this dictionary app does not belong on your portfolio. You need to have real world projects or clones or redoing of another project. Like, for instance, if you know there's a restaurant in your area, they have a website, their website, it looks dated or it looks terrible. A good idea is to do a before and after of the actual website and then redoing it and then putting that on your portfolio. Um, that would be really good. So let's just dive into your applications here. Yeah. See. Yeah, very simple. I mean, it's a to-do list app. So it's very simple. Not many people are going to want to play with this, man. So if you think, if you are applying to jobs and you want a manager to be wild, they're not going to be wild at a to-do list app. They're not going to be wild at a weather application app that's, very, very simple. Um, they're not going to want to see this stuff because this is like stuff that you do to learn how to code, but not to showcase your skills. All right, let me see a dictionary application. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good either. So you have to add some more projects, man. Replace all these projects with two to three full projects that have features that can actually relate to a company. Like, none of these projects will actually relate to any companies that you're going to be applying for. Like, granted, I know that you're working with the API here, and I know you're working with the API here to get the answers or to make calls and stuff like that, but it's not showcasing your skills. Like, it's not putting you in the best light. And if you think about the jobs that you're going to be applying for, it's going to be junior front end engineering jobs. It's going to be hundreds of applicants. And do you really think that your portfolio is going to stand out? Do you think it's going to actually make somebody want to give you a call or send you an email or bring you in for an interview? Like, you can't really have a conversation about any of these projects besides the fact that you work with an API to get the stuff, right? So you want to make your portfolio a good conversation topic of how you build the project. What was your design decisions that you had to make? Like, if you built a database with it or an API, like you build an actual API that goes along with your project, like what are some of the pitfalls that you had to go through, or like how many applications or how many API endpoints do you have to make this application functional? Like those are the type of things that you want to discuss in your interviews. And if they pull up this portfolio, then they're going to go straight to drilling you coding questions versus actually talking about your experience, right? You don't want them to go straight into coding questions. You want to basically lead the interview with your projects, and then it will take away the whole purpose of having to do like coding questions and stuff like that, right? So that's just some insight for me, some feedback for me. The About Me page is pretty cool. Looks like you're into dancing. That's really cool. Another thing is add a footer to your website. Let me see if you have a footer on the home page. Yes, add a footer here, so like they don't try to continuously scroll. Like, and that's just a UI thing. Like, that's something that they already gonna want you to know to do, right? So just make sure you do that. Then let's take a look at your resume. All right, so here's your resume, right? Passionate and experienced full stack web developer seeking a role to utilize my expertise in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, the MERN stack, to create innovative web solutions. Okay, don't put yourself in a box. A lot of companies don't use the MERN stack. A lot of companies don't use MongoDB, for one thing. They're using MySQL or like some type of Azure cloud database, and you put Mongo in there, and they're like, we don't even know what Mongo is, right? So don't put yourself in a box, right? And if you're an experienced full stack web developer, be careful with using full stack, because full stack means that you know how to develop APIs. And because that's what a backend developer does, develop APIs, right? So if you don't know how to develop an API, then don't set those expectations up for yourself to where they're going to start asking you questions like how many APIs have you built, or can you describe the process of how to build an API? Like, you don't want to put yourself like behind, right? You want to give yourself as much leverage as you can by only talking and showcasing the skills that you do know, right? So I would change this into a front end developer, unless you really do have some full stack developer experience that you should also be displaying here on your portfolio. So let's go down here to your work experience. Okay, so if you are applying to tech jobs, take away anything that is not related to tech. So lead dance instructor as your most recent or your top job. It just shows the person that's interviewing you or like possibly want to interview that you're not even in the industry right now, right? So you don't even want to put that you are a lead dance instructor. So if you and here it shows that you are currently working as a freelance developer. Um, well, if you are, you need to put those projects that you've been freelancing onto your website, so you can showcase that experience and showcase those skills. And also, if you have some experience being a freelancer, like break those down into bullet points for your work experience. Break those projects down so those can be talking points inside of the interview, right? Develop and maintain responsive web application using front end technologies, ensuring a seamless user experience through different devices. Okay. Implemented back end functionality using Node.js and Express. Okay, you're talking about the merge stack still. Conducted thorough testing and debugging to ensure high quality and error free software deliverables. If you've done unit testing, you need to add unit testing in whatever library you use to do your unit testing as well, because that's like unit testing is going to be done in every position that you do. So if you've done some unit testing, you need to put that in your resume. And you have some education here. And it seems like you have a lot of skills for a junior engineer. Don't make it seem like you know a lot, and then when it comes to you being in an interview and they ask you some MySQL questions like what are joins, or like how do you do a rollback, or those things like that. And if you're not really prepared for that, don't put all of these technologies on here unless you really know how to answer good questions about them. All right. So yeah, that's it, man. So if you make these changes, and just do some tweaks here and there, and then start back applying to jobs, man, I think you'll be in good shape. All right, so that concludes our portfolio and resume review. If you guys like that, make sure you leave a like. If you want me to review your work, make sure you leave a comment and send me an email with your resume and a link to your portfolio, and I will review it for you. But until next time, see you guys later.